Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Medical Classes by Dr. Srinidhi Kumar Acharya. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and also please give your valuable comments. You can also visit my playlist. In the playlist, I have provided almost all the topics in a very systematic fashion, so you can make use of it. Thank you very much. So we were discussing about nephrotic syndrome. Almost all five classes were over. Now today, the third situation of pathology we have seen how the edema develops. Now, meantime, now we have to discuss another important thing, that is role of liver. What actually liver will do in this particular situation. When the pathology reaches the third stage, okay, with the presentation of edema with a nephrotic range of proteinuria more than 3.5 grams in 24 hours urine specimen. Meanwhile, the liver is making more and more proteins to compensate for the protein loss. In the process, it also produces the lipoproteins in excess. Okay, so in the process of producing more and more protein, it also produces more and more lipoproteins. And actually, production of these more lipoproteins that leads to disturbed lipid system. Okay, so when it is producing the proteins, it is not only the plain proteins which is producing, because the fat has to be converted into the next stage, cholesterol, then fatty acid, glycerol, and in the meantime, first it produces more and more lipoproteins, and later it produces the proteins. Okay, so ultimately what happens, the lipoprotein level will go into rise. Okay, so this leads to disturbed lipid system. So patient will have a hyperlipidemia. The first presentation is a patient will have hyperlipidemia, low density lipoproteins, very low density lipoproteins, then triglycerides, cholesterol, everything will go up, and the HDL will go down. Okay, high density lipoproteins that will go down, the low density and very low density lipoproteins they will go up. So this condition is called as not only simply a disturbed lipid system, it is now called as dyslipidemia. This is called as dyslipidemia. So why this dyslipidemia occur? This is as a response to protein loss. Now liver try to produce more and more proteins. In the process, it go on producing the lipoproteins. Okay, these lipoproteins, they disturb the total excess amount of the lipoproteins, they totally disturb the lipid system. Then the condition is called as dyslipidemia. So best thing is, instead of calling it a hypercholesteremia and all those things, the better word is dyslipidemia. Total lipid system is get disturbed. So when we take the blood sample, it is darker as it is hemoconcentrated, and upper level there will be yellowish lipids. So in a patient of nephrotic syndrome, when you collect the blood sample also, you can visualize it. Okay, the blood will be looking more and more darker because of hemoconcentration, because there is a edema is there. Because of edema, the fluid present in the vascular system is now going out. So inside the vessel, the blood is get now concentrated. So that hemoconcentrated blood is seen as more darker urine. Meantime, take the sample, the extra amount of these lipids, they will come in the upper part and they produce a yellowish layer. So that much you can assess simply while collecting the blood also. Okay, so meantime, the PCT, the proximal convoluted tubule cells, also take the fat and lipids and pass through the urine, and this is called as fat oval body. Okay, so see, this is happening. Now this extra amount of the lipid is also passing through the urine also. Then it is called as lipiduria. Okay, and meantime, the proximal converted cells which are present in the nephrons, they also take this passing extra lipids in the urine, just like they take the albumin, globulin, etc. They also receive and captures this fat and lipids, etc., and pass through the urine, and then it's called as fat oval body. So now the whole picture is, now it is called as nephrotic syndrome. Now we have got generalized sarca, dyslipidemia, proteinurias, heavy proteinuria, okay, formation of fat oval bodies, lipidurias, everything is now present. Now this condition is considered as a completely manifested situation of a nephrotic syndrome. So it is a clinical pathological condition now with heavy proteinuria, hypoproteinemia, generalized edema, and a hyperdyslipidemia, or totally not hyperlipidemia or dyslipidemia. So this is happening. Now, what happens in the next phase? That is a full presentation of nephrotic syndrome. So that is, there will be a triad of generalized anasarca, proteinuria, and hyperlipidemia. When the protein loss is more than 3.5 grams per day, then it is called as sub-nephrotic range proteinuria. Okay, if the, of course, it's nephrotic range proteinuria, but it's sub-nephrotic range proteinuria when it is less than 3.5 grams per day. Okay, if it is if it is more than 3.5 grams per day, then it is called as nephrotic range of proteinuria. But it is not only albumin which is leaking out, isn't it? Now, along with the albumin, some of the other molecules also now start leaking out because the hole is become bigger and bigger. Okay, because of the continuous injuries. So, small molecules, molecular weight may also protein like transferrin may also start leaking out. Okay, so actually this transferrin is one such things which is present in the blood, which is called as vehicle for the iron. Okay, this is responsible for iron handling in the body. Okay, so in chronic cases of nephrotic syndrome, what actually happens is this transferrin also going out, and as a result iron handling will be get affected. So all the cases of chronic nephrotic syndrome will usually have iron deficiency anemia, because transferrin is going out, and as a result iron is not handled, and patient will have a iron deficiency anemia. This is another important presentation. Now, in the next class, we will see the full presentation of a nephrotic syndrome. Thank you very much.